Okay. Alright, first
Hi.
quarter two.
It's just me and Kaiser.
Yeah, Elliot had a family emergency, and I'm not sure what happened to Eduardo. He's just busy.
Okay.
So,
Our book is Under the Lake.
by Stuart Woods.
It's really bad.
It sucks. Like, oh my god.
Okay.
Like, oh, I regret choosing this book.
So, okay, you want to do your thing?
Okay, so one passage that I thought was interesting was page 31. The paragraph starting with his words turned into an involuntary shout. Should I read the whole thing or?
Not yet. Sure, go ahead.
His words turned into an involuntary shout as a blinding white flash of lightning lit the room for a tiny moment, fixing everything in it in his mind's eye before winking silently out, leaving him cringing, blinded. He saw it all against the insides of his tightly closed eyelids, the room, the rug, the furniture, and standing with back not quite turned toward him, a child of 11 or 12, a farm child in overalls and a blue work shirt, pigtails, a girl standing at the window nearly in front of him, 8 or 10 feet away, ignoring him, gazing out over the lake. Howell opened his eyes to blind blackness, then jammed them shut again as the second roaring explosion of thunder assaulted the cabin, violently rattling the windows and the French doors, making him think the glass would shatter. As he opened his eyes again, another, steadier roar filled the cabin, and as suddenly as the lightning, the lights came on, causing him to jump and cry out. The child was gone. One of the French doors was open and banging. The rain was coming through it. He ran to close it and was instantly soaked by the downpour. He put his hands on the glass and looked out over the lake to where the lake should have been. All I could see was a solid wall of rain coming down vertically. No wind, the heaviest rain he could remember.
Okay.
I mostly saved that just because I thought it was like it introduced pretty much the
plot?
The plot that doesn't stay the plot.
Yeah.
Like it's mentioned, but it's not like
It's not like the main focus for a large portion of it.
yeah. Like they focus on it towards the end of the main first section, but like otherwise they don't talk about it really at all.
One of my main issues actually with the book is actually in this part is that it feels really just like formulaic. You know, it's very stereotypical. You know, mysterious girl, mysterious child in a thunderstorm, and in a cabin in the woods. It just feels very, I don't know. I guess formulaic, like I said before. And then, like, the main character is a disgruntled reporter.
A disgruntled reporter who cheats on his wife. They're not actually divorced yet. Like, he says he wants a divorce, but they're not actually divorced.
Yeah.
He cheats on her with 2 other women.
They're the only,
They
like,
actually have sex
in really explicit scenes.
in very explicit scenes, and he drinks a lot. Like, at least once every chapter they mention him drinking some kind of alcohol.
He drinks so much, it's insane.
Yeah, it's like he should be dead. He
Like-
actually, and he randomly, like, he took a sip of an alcoholic beverage, went and got his shotgun and put it in his mouth, and then, like, fell
Like,
over.
just out of nowhere.
Yeah, just out of nowhere. Like, there was no
Suicide.
explanation. He just fell over. He like, the thundercraft scared him, and he fell over, and then he forgot, and then the gun was gone.
I actually forgot about that scene, but yeah, there was, like, nothing leading up to it
Yeah,
that
there
made
was
you think
nothing-
he wanted to kill himself.
Yeah, there was nothing.
Very sudden.
And he just seems like a bland guy. Like, he's just bored with life. Like, it's understandable because he's got, like, he was a news reporter. He had an adventurous life, but the fact he doesn't seem to appreciate life really. He's like, oh, it has to be completely exciting all the time. And it's just, I'm 3, I'm so old. Seriously, he says he's like 31 and he's extremely old apparently.
I thought you said he was 39.
39 or I think he's, wait, is he the same? I think he's the same age as Winston.
I think he might be.
Yeah.
Another of my...
Definitely less interesting.
Far less interesting. Another of my main issues with the book is that characters are just, like, introduced super quick with very little explanation.
Like Scotty.
Yeah.
He walks in and he's like, oh shit, it's Scotty.
It's like, I think we're supposed to know who Scotty is. Maybe. It feels like that, because she was
I don't
introduced
think there's another
really...
book.
She was introduced really quickly.
This is a novel. Yeah, it just says it's a novel. This is just a novel.
She's introducing incredibly quickly with like no character
And
development.
normally
And
I
she's
am
just
okay
there.
with like just suddenly being thrown into a book. Like Star Wars, I'm gonna say this, they threw you right in and it was fine.
Yeah.
Like in some cases, being thrown in is good.
You mentioned Star Wars in both of them.
Because it's a fantastic story.
I know, okay, geez, but yeah, like, so the character Scotty is
Yeah,
just
but
kind of,
in this case, being thrown right in does not
and then
work at all.
20 pages later, they're just having sex. And it's really weird.
Okay. Another issue I had was he got his boat set up. Okay, I'm gonna say this right now. I mentioned this during class that I don't really care about Winston. I care about this character a lot less.
I like Winston. That's beside the point.
I don't like Winston, and to the point.
Beside the point.
Okay, beside the point.
Okay, what were you saying?
But the scene where they were setting up his boat for some reason, and like Winston was, I mean not Winston, bleh! This guy
Howell.
He is in his underwear because he needed to get in the water, and then suddenly he's drifting, and he meets these random people, and he's like, "Oh, I'll treat you to a drink. Let's have a séance in my house."
Yeah, that part was really abrupt. Like, he just goes out on his boat and runs into these random strangers, and he's like, "Come back to my house, we'll have a drink." And then one of them just happens to be blind and also a psychic. And she's like, "Let's just have a séance."
And then
right
she's creepy
here.
as heck. I mean, like, she looked him in the eyes and goes, "You're a psychic, you just don't want to admit it." It was so creepy. I was like, what the heck?
None of the characters are like weirded out by the spell. They're like, "Oh yeah, let's just have a séance." And then like actually a ghost shows up and they're like, "This is normal."
Yeah, okay.
There's no reaction.
Yeah, I think I was like intrigued by the first paragraph, like prologue.
Yeah,
Like, that
prologue
seemed-
was somewhat interesting.
That was somewhat interesting, but then I was like, okay, this is gonna start out like a cool little ghost story, you know? And it was like, he's drinking, he's drinking, a little more drinking, met a ghost girl, okay, that's okay, that makes up for, and he's drinking and drinking, that's not exaggeration.
There's a lot of drinking.
There's seriously a lot of drinking, like, oh my goodness. I want to say it has a symbolic meaning, but like,
I feel like this was kind of just made for money.
yeah, this
That's
seems
what
like a
I think.
made-for-money kind of novel, and I don't think
Like
alcohol would have some kind of significance in this guy's life,
Because-
except that he's
an alcoholic.
an alcoholic.
Because he drinks a lot. Like, this feels to me like a book in like a really long series about one dude. Just, you know,
Kinda like The Last
churning
One,
out
but-
books, but it's just one book instead
Yeah.
of part of the series.
Okay, I want to say the hostility towards Howell does not make sense from like everyone. You know how they all treat him with hostility.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense because Scotty showed up a month earlier, no one knew who she was, and they treated her like, "Oh yeah, come on in, like yeah, you're great." And then Howell shows up, and everyone like the second they see him, they think he's an awful person, and that he's gonna ruin their lives. Like
Another part that again felt really just like abrupt was when he was in the police car with the police chief.
and he's just like, "Come in, we'll take out this guy."
Yeah, so
It's like, what the heck?
they're just driving down the road and they see like a car with its engine on outside a store and they're like, "Oh, let's go check it out, bring in the shotgun." The police chief hands the random dude in the car with him a shotgun.
Yeah,
and they
it's
go
like,
in,
what?
and there's a armed robbery going on. And this all happens in like 2 pages.
Mm-hmm.
It's so just
It's so abrupt and like
jolted. It's weird.
I don't know if we can change books, but I would if we could.
That would be good.
Please. But
But like,
the ghost story aspect of it is, I would say, kind of interesting, but it's not
it's
what
stereotypical.
it's stereotypical, but kind of interesting in that like he falls into the lake and suddenly he's back in time.
Yeah, that
was
was
interesting. I
kind of
actually
interesting.
bookmarked that one.
I like that part more.
I did like that, but they don't focus on that. It doesn't focus on that at all.
Hopefully it
focuses a
will.
lot on-
Hopefully it will more later.
Yeah, I hope it does later on, but overall this first half was basically introducing the story, like to characters that honestly I do not care don't care about at all. Like it's like, okay, you're hostile, you're hostile, you're hostile. He's not a good person.
Yeah, the character development is very poor, and even the main character, I feel, is his only trait is that he drinks a lot. Yeah, and he's kind of a jerk. And then like the second most prominent character, Scotty, is just there to.
She's kind of just more of a like sexual icon for Halloween.
She's just there for sexy stuff.
I did think it was a little annoying when he was like wait in the boat to her when they were going over to break into Sutherland's place.
Oh yeah.
And she just shows up behind him. It's like, what are you doing?
Shut your mouth, young lady. I'm kidding, but okay. I have some author stuff. Stuart Woods.
Alright, let's try to figure out what this story means.
Just going to do my author thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe we know more about the author.
So he is like 70-something years old.
How old was he when the book was written?
American. Well, when did the book come out?
Oh.
What? I'm sorry, I did. Okay, shut up. Came out in 87, so he was like 50.
Okay.
He graduated from like University of Georgia. Apparently he's a
that would make sense because if he grew up in Georgia.
It takes
Did he
place
grow up
in Georgia. Yeah.
Yeah, that would make sense because it takes place in
It
Georgia.
takes place in Georgia.
Yeah, a little town in Georgia.
Apparently he's written several series that are like what I described earlier is like focused on just like a detective dude, and tons of books that have very little relation. They just have the character that stays the same. And he's also a experienced pilot and sailor, which means maybe why there's so many boats.
Yeah, that must have to do with the boats thing.
And lived in England for a while.
I'd also like to mention that this book falls into the trope of little town, big secret. And it's kind of predictable, I'm gonna say.
There's a weird rich dude, and you immediately know that he has something to do with it.
Yeah.
I thought the police chief being involved was kind of just out of nowhere.
I thought, well, police chief kind of makes sense because that's
I guess,
like
but
how
like
it falls. But like the whole Scotty being there for for like the drug dealing stuff, that was sudden.
I didn't catch that. She was there for drug dealing?
Yeah, she was there because she was on a story where she thinks the police officer guy is a drug dealer.
Oh yeah. Okay. You got any other stuff there?
I have to think about him showing up in the other world, and then I have the song about Kathleen.
Oh yeah. So
On page 39.
the ghost girl's name is apparently Kathleen.
Yeah, it's apparently named Kathleen.
And I guess that's important.
So the song goes, "I'll take you home again, Kathleen, across the ocean wild and wide." I would sing this, but I don't know the tune. So.
That's what I don't like. In books, you can't get music tunes.
To where your heart has ever been, since first you were my bonny bride. The roses all have left your cheek, you've watched them fade and die. Your voice is sad whenever you speak, and tears bedim your loving eyes. Oh, I will take you back again, to where your heart will feel no pain, and when the fields are fresh and green, I'll take you to your home again.
I feel like that will have some significance later in the story.
I did feel like that was foreshadowing, just because like Kathleen is a ghost and she's dead.
Yeah. But speaking of Kathleen, there's also a family of children and their mom, and they're all maybe born of incest. We don't know.
I'm pretty sure that was confirmed, actually.
Confirmed? I mean, it says incest on the back cover.
Well, he did say they were brother and sister.
Yeah. And apparently
I thought that family was interesting.
they were more interesting than the rest of the book.
Yeah.
Because they were actually...
Sorry we're trashing this book, but
it's really not good.
Yeah, it's really not. No.
It's not good.
Ugh.
But like they were actually rather interesting. Although of course, the main character immediately had sex with one of them because why not?
I did think it was rather abrupt that they suddenly those kids, the albino and the autistic kid, they suddenly just showed up, with the firewood and the.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was so abrupt. It was weird.
And the mother, and apparently they can do magic stuff.
Their magiciness.
apparently the mom can like see the future. The girl he has sex with can like
Do the
have
same
warm
thing.
hands
Well,
that heal back pain.
she said she was going to do the same thing.
She can also heal back pain. She does that in the book. She heals the guy's back. And then they...
Because after Scotty and him work, he realizes, oh my gosh, I'm old. My back hurts.
Yeah, so
I am old. My bones are old.
So he gets some healing from her and then immediately has sex with her after that, which is wonderful. After she's been in the book for about 3 pages. A lot of character development going on here. I don't really have anything else to say. You got anything?
There was something. Why do you think Hallwell is called by his last name?
It sounds more badass.
That's true, but honestly, I think first name basis, like in a character, shows like a connection between the reader and stuff. Like you're close enough where you could call him by first name.
Yeah.
Whereas like last name shows like a disconnection between them.
In a lot of books like this, when the main character is like a gruff, like 30, 40-year-old man, they always call him by his last name. Like I believe in the last book we read, the main character went by his last name. Or did he go by his first name? I can't remember.
What was his name?
I don't remember. But
Hold on. Can I check? Or
sure, go ahead.
yeah, I'm gonna just check that because I feel like he did. What was that one again? What was it called? What's the book called?
Boundary Waters. I don't remember the author. You might just get the Boundary Waters in northern Minnesota. So.
Oh, William Kent Kruger.
Okay, yeah, that sounds right.
Cork. No, he went by his first name.
You're right, he did.
He did.
But yeah, I do agree with you on that.
Yeah, it doesn't bring a lot of connect. I mean, like Scotty, she goes by her first name, I think.
I think that's to make her seem younger, especially because her name is Scotty.
Yeah.
And apparently she's unknown.
Remember how
that's not her
that
real
both
name.
the girls that he porks are both younger than him by a lot?
Quite a lot, like 10 years or something.
Yeah, at least 10 years.
And the second one, like I said, they're both barely in the book when they do that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very...
Oh, I just want to say
feels
about
really
Scotty,
disjointed.
she's very horny.
Yeah.
Scotty is super horny. That's not an exaggeration.
Like,
either.
literally, like, they have... Every time
Scotty's there, there's something about sex.
So like the 2 chapters from her perspective, she always talks about how she's like
Deprived.
thirsty and thirsty.
That's not a joke.
Like in one of like the 2 chapters from her perspective,
She's talking about porking her boss.
yeah, she's just like looking at her boss. She's just like, he's pretty attractive. This stuff with Howell doesn't work out. I'll just do it with him. But yeah. Anything else? Or
Okay, so this says this is a ghost story. Besides the mention of this girl, what do you think? Why do you think it's
a ghost story?
yeah?
Because there's ghosts. Also on the back, apparently Stephen King likes this, so I have lost some respect for him. Apparently it scares
Did you know
him.
Stephen King goes by a lot of different pen names?
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, before I get off topic, okay.
The name is the name of the book is very literal, as
Yeah, actually, it is very literal.
the point of the story
there's a whole
is
scandal about killing a family
under a lake.
by drowning them under a lake.
So there's no.
They had a whole. Basically, there was a valley before where this town was that's surrounded by a lake, and this old guy who's rich as heck, he comes in, he's like, I want to build a lake.
For unspecified reasons.
Yeah, for not very specified reasons, like they don't really talk about that.
And so he built the lake on him
And then so basically he bribes everyone into giving him into giving up the land, except for this one family, which I'm pretty sure they said no, and then he ended up flooding them and drowning them all.
My guess is that there's gonna be a twist later where it wasn't him or something.
How was the ghost?
It's gonna be like Sixth Sense. He's dead.
That was good.
He was dead. That was good. All right. I think that's all. I think that's it. Unless you have something else you want to talk about.
No, I don't.
Okay.
We need more people.
That was our literature circle.
That was our literature circle of two people.
It was great. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks. Bye.